Hey y'all, so look, I am at Smash and Dash here in Orlando, and right before this video was presented to y'all, I was thinking of a dope way to introduce this video, but for some reason I thought Smash and Dash was dope. If you are a trader and you're in the Orlando area, you're definitely going to want to come to Smash and Dash, especially when you blow an account. When you love you too, son. When you blow an account, that's when things gonna get real. It's gonna get physical, and you're gonna want to beat something up. So, without further ado, let's dive into the charts and let's learn this double Z advance.
All right, so check it out. As you can see, we're on a Johnson & Johnson OTC. So this came from something that I was working on earlier with the private group. You guys are missing it. If you want to be a part of the private group, you can go to the website, and you can go to www.cuzincash.com. That's CUZINCASH.com. You can go on ahead and get you a membership package. And even if you can't be in the group, the private group directly, the membership packages will definitely get you a good trading day in for you to be able to do so. Well, without further ado, so let's check this out, right? All right, guys, so last video we looked at the double Z, and today we're going to look at the double Z advance. It's a really cool way of doing this, and this is going to open up a plethora of opportunities for you to run up a serious bag in binary option trading, right? And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this on two different platforms just to kind of show you exactly what I'm looking at, right? So with this next one, I'm going to go with one of my favorite brokers. In fact, my favorite broker. Okay. And so I'm just going to open up this demo account here, and let's throw the double Z on there, right? So we're just going to trade the demo really quickly, and let's see if this works out. Perfect. All right. So what I'm going to do is let me throw the double Z confluence on there. So what we need is two zigzags. So here's the first one. I'm just going to make it blue and make it thicker like it would normally be. Get that time. Perfect. That is our trend indicator. Next one I'm going to do is our price action indicator. I'm going to make the settings 1 deviation, 1 depth, and 1 in the back step. I'm going to make it yellow, and I'm going to leave that the way it is. Perfect. Now let's throw a moving average on there. I'm going to throw my moving average on there. Y'all know me. It's my favorite moving average. It will be the 62 EMA and not SMA. I'm going to make it purple and just add a little thickness to the width just so we can be able to identify it. All right, perfect. We are in the game. Now, we got one more indicator to throw up there, and that would be the stochastic. Why the stochastic? Because I like the way it monitors and it feeds me the information on price action being overbought and oversold. So I'm going to go with my favorite trading period, which is the 17. I'm going to leave this 3 and 3. And what I like to do is I like to kind of monitor how high certain things have been, the highest and the lowest. So I see the highest is about here. And so that is roughly about, it appears to be 88%. So let's go on ahead and put the overbought zone to be 88%. Now let's also find the lowest. The lowest has been, this seems to have been the lowest point in this area. So I'm going to take it to about right there. The lowest is 4%. And so I'm going to make the lowest in this oversold levels 4%. I'm going to also make these moving averages EMAs, right? And we're just going to leave those colors the way they are, and we should be good to go. Now we have the double Z. All right, so that's a beautiful thing. Here we have the double Z. We got our two zigzags, our moving average, and our stochastic level. Now, what I'm about to present to you guys is going to be something crazy, right? And this is a method that's actually taught. This is a complete different method that's actually taught in my ATM course. So, quick plug here. If you want the ATM course, you need to look in the comment section, and you can click and go directly to my personal Discord where I'm selling my binary ATM course. It's over 24 hours of binary trading, from trading psychology to defensive trading to the actual offensive side of trading. I'm telling you, I'm proud, I'm bragging on everybody who's taking the course, because we're at an 85.3% win ratio of people taking the course in binary. So I'm happy to bring that heat. Shout out to every last one of you guys that did it. Man, I love you all. Listen, it's always a celebration when the family link up, man. It's a family reunion. So going back to this, we're going to use a few things that's going to work out. And so I want to bring some to your attention, right? I want to be able to show you guys. A lot of you guys have been using a double Z, and you're like, well, Cousin Cash, sometimes when I jump in, it reverses. Sometimes when I jump in, it lingers over my price. Sometimes when I jump in, it goes my direction for a little bit, and then it cuts back. Well, first and foremost, a few things you have to know. Time frame is everything in binary. So we're talking expiration time now. So since we're talking expiration time, as you see with Quotex doesn't offer a lower time frame than 1 minute. So we need to be mindful about the fact that we can only trade at the lowest 1 minute. So all of our moves should be minimum searching for 2 minutes. So I'm looking for a price action and trend connect to connect in this area when it's oversold, and then I would take the trade for 2 minutes the opposite way, right, for the buy. Now, if you're wondering why sometimes when you take that and it's like, hey, it didn't shoot up, one of the things that you have to have in this bracket is patience, right? If you don't have patience, 9 times out of 10, guys, this will not work. So you have to have patience. Now, what I like about Quotex over a lot of other brokers is how smooth the charts run. It kind of get to where it needs to go. It doesn't do a lot of jumping around and lingering, and you can get in where you fit in a lot easier. Now let's look at this candle here, right? As you see, this candle is shooting up. I'm expecting a price action and trend in 3, 2, 1. Let's see. It started off red. That means it should shoot up green. All right. Even if it's for brief, there goes green. And here we go. So if we can get it past the top of this wick, we know we got a price action trend connect. So let's see what we got going on. All right. Nope. It looks like we haven't been in the stochastic. Let's see what we got going on. As soon as it crossed there, let's see if we can take it. Now, I'm going to show y'all something right now. I'm hoping that it crosses, because if it can cross, then I'd be able to show y'all really clear what we're looking for. But right now, it appears to me that it wants to push trend just a little bit more. So who knows? It's playing both sides of the fence. Definitely some consolidation up. Here we go. So we take the 2 minute buy after that price action jump. So let's see. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. This is going to push trend, and it's going to get rid of it. Now, if you're probably thinking, but Cash, it was overbought. It was oversold, and this should have been a winning trade. It should have started flying up. Well, I'm going to show you how to avoid those fake outs right now. Now, here's the special sauce. Y'all ready, cousins? So check this out. This is what I need for you guys to do. I need for you guys to get into this mindset, all right? This by far is a strategy that answers a few questions of the UMF law, which is Universal Market Fundamental. Basically, this is what the market has to do in order for it to be declared a tradable market, right? And so with that being said, we're going to answer it. I have an indicator, and it's not my indicator. This is actually a free indicator on Quotex, and you'll see it also on trading. On pocket options. I have this indicator here, and I believe it's on TradingView too. It's called the SUPETREND. Now, typically people use the SUPETREND just to monitor how strong the trend is, right? And just for the sake of argument, I'm gonna take that one also. So they monitor how strong the trend is, right? Well, check this out, guys. I'm going to show you how that SUPETREND that's supposedly used to monitor how strong the trend is, buy or sell, I'm going to show y'all a usage. Whew, This is one of the sauces that typically I was going to save for just the people who purchased the ATM course, but I gotta give it to y'all. Y'all been asking for it. I'm going to show y'all how to take the SUPETREND and have the SUPETREND print out support and resistances for you, right? All right, so let's watch this. So let's go and grab the SUPETREND. We get one SUPETREND. Now, I have special settings. For the SUPETREND, right? And so typically I use the SUPETREND whenever I am creating my strategies. And why do I use the SUPETREND to create my strategies? It's really, really, really simple. Because the SUPETREND is printing out support and resistances for me, I know strongly what the strategy will do when it runs into heavy consolidations, when it's a strong up or a strong downtrend. And so check this out, right? And this is where things get lovely. Now, as you can see, you have these flat lines. And the flatter the line is in the SUPETREND, the stronger that support and resistance is. But now, it can't just work like this out of the gate. So let's switch over really quick to my pocket options. Now, as you can see, if I did the same exact thing, drop my trend, my price action, and my moving average, we got our stochastic here, and then let's drop off our SUPETREND. So I'm gonna drop this one here, and I'm gonna drop this one here. What you'll see is that it here also prints up support and resistances, right? Or these flat lines. But this is the actual settings we're gonna need. So I wasn't going to do it, I swear I wasn't, but I gotta hook y'all up, because once you get this down, you're definitely going to want to kick down the door for the ATM course, right? So let's go to the first one. ATR period 13, multiplier 2.66. Now, with Quotex, 13 and about 13 and 3. So we're going to use, you see that 3 is already up there as the multiplier. We're just going to change this to 13, all right? Give it time to update. There we go. Now, let's throw another SUPETREND up there, right? One more, boom. Now this next one is going to be ATR period 30, multiplier 5. Perfect. So let's go back here and let's change this second one to 30. Sorry about that, guys. To 30 and our multiplier to be 5. All right. Now, watch how this works. You're gonna love this. If this ain't secret sauce, then nothing will. Nothing will please you. Can't do no more. I can do a lot more, guys. I promise y'all. What we're gonna do is we're gonna mark up our chart, right? Now, I like to use a color code. Okay, the more vibrant colors is showing you kind of like how strong a level is opposed to the different ones. Also, I like to use the levels of the levels of pixels, right? The thickness. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to mark up something really short to give you an example. So you see how you got a nice long support and resistance line here, man. And mind you, this strategy works on Quotex and it works on pocket options. It actually works on a lot of brokers. So if it offers the SUPETREND and stochastic and some markup tools, you are in the game. All right, so let's go on ahead and take a horizontal line. We drop a horizontal line on the chart and let's find where we want to go. So this first one here, I am going to mark up here. Now I'm in the 1 minute, but I'm going to show you guys. And I'm in a 1 minute, and actually, you know what, I'm going to say here, but then when I switch to pocket options, I'll show y'all how to do that there as well. But like I said, Quotex, you know, I'm a big fan. So here we go. Now what I want to do is, because this is a pretty strong one, I'm going to change this to about 4. All right, let's move on to the next support and resistance line here. All right, now I see another strong one. I'm gonna mark this one up here. Let's mark this one up. It's not that strong. Let's look left a little bit, see if it, nope. So I'm going to mark this up, and I'm only marking it up because of what was printed here. and watch what you guys will see. You guys can do it yourself and you'll be able to see it for yourself also. So let's go here, horizontal line. Let's get you out the way. All right, and we're going to mark this up. Now I'm going to keep this green, right? Keep that green, and then I'm going to mark that up with about 2 pixels. All right, now let's get up here. Now you see this is a pretty strong one because we have a support resistance line here, and we have it again here, and then it's really close to this one. So what I'm going to do with this one, I feel like this one is going to be a pretty strong one, right? So I'm going to create my horizontal line here, right? And slide you back here. Let's line you up with the support and resistance line that we've seen. All right. And then I'm going to make this, let's just make this like that one orange. But what we're going to do with this here is we're just going to raise it up about 5 pixels. And you know what? I'm going to change it because I believe that it's pretty strong. I'm going to make it red. I'm going to make it like that light red instead of that dark one, right? Now, I know it's a lot of red going on here. Work with me. We're going to get to it. Now, because this pair is kind of melting a little bit, I want to hurry up and kind of get these markups going up here as well. Now, watch this. This is a trick that we're going to use. What we're going to do is we're going to drop down to the S15. All right. And then we're going to mark up these lines here, these support and resistance lines. I'm going to put one here, and I want to show you something. You see how I got one right here? And you see how right here is a small one? And what the price just do? Run right into this one and reverse, right? So with this one, I'm going to make it white. Well, I don't have a white on here, so I'm going to make it blue. And I'm going to make it like 2 pixels, just so you guys can see it. Let's put another one up there. And with that one, I'm going to put it right there. All right, let's get it. Let's try to get it on top of it as much as possible. I'll put that one right there. Perfect. Here we go. Okay. And now we got some down here, right? Like we have one right here over top of the support, over top of the moving average, where that's kind of like that should probably bounce back up. I see it's melting. And so if not, if you notice, it struggled to get as low as it did because it was caught up right here. So I'm trying to get to it. Let's see it. Let me stop talking really quickly and try to get to this next one. It's already down there. Move out of my way so I can get you marked up. All right. And we know that this thing is melting. So I'm just trying to make it a nice big, like, you know, visible. I'm going to mark up a few more. I'm going to mark up one here. This is pretty strong because there's one here and one here. So let's go horizontal line. Okay, hold on. There we go. And look what happened. Price action and trend met right here, bouncing off the support. It's beautiful. Every time I see it, man, I just smile because like I know, like I hear the dollar signs. Now, I'm going to pull back here, and if I was to scroll left just to see if it was ever lower than this, I could mark it up from there as well. All right. But it seems like this thing has been pretty high for a while. Let's see. Seems like it's been pretty high for a while. It has been. So we're looking at this thing to have a pretty, it's pretty much on the floor as low as it's really been, but it's starting to climb back up. Now, if I want, you can mute these super trends down, right? You can mute them or take them out. However, I'm just going to mute all of that. Okay, apparently I can't. Give me a second. Sorry, guys. That's my little one. All right, here. Oh, here we go. Okay, so look. This is what I'm going to do. For the sake of argument, I'm just going to exit out of the super trends, right? So let's exit out this super trend here. Let's exit out this super trend here, okay? Because now we did our markup already. Now, if you can look at what's going on here, you'll notice that the candlesticks will respect these support and resistance lines and you'll be able to catch zones, and you'll be able to catch right where it's going to get hung up at and caught up at before it gets you out your entry. So let's look at this right here. We have a solid price action and trend connect right here. It's oversold, so this would have been a solid move to take, right? But look at how it fell right on top of this strong support and resistance line that the super trend printed for us. Okay, this strong support and resistance line. Now think about this, right? Because I left one super trend up here, and if you notice, it's right here, and even the super trend started from this point. Even the super trend started from this point. So I want you to look at this. It bounced from here, it's shooting up, and it's like, this is a perfect way. Even though we have our support and resistance, and we knew, hey man, the moment it breaks this wick, it's going to go for the long ride and we'll be able to take this up. We knew that it was going to reverse even before we had the double Z happen, because guess what? We had a strong support and resistance area, price area, that we knew that could have created a possible reversal. Okay, and so if you look at the bounce here was clean, and then when it came back down, what happened? If you know anything about support and resistances, you know that it will cause heavy consolidation. And look at how you have these candles kind of bouncing from it. It'll cause heavy consolidation before it's penetrated completely or pierced completely through. And so again, you have these two support and resistance lines right on top of each other, and look, right in those areas you have consolidation, small ranges, and it's bouncing back from there. It gets up here, bounces off this strong support and resistance, and does what? Go down, consolidates in this area because it was two support and resistance lines back to back, and then it comes down, right? Now I'm sure if I was to reprint another super trend up here, I'm sure we could find those bounces here, but let's look. Right in this area, what is it doing? Sideways consolidation, right? Then it's springing off. Then it comes back clean, shoots back out, comes back clean. And look at where these candles, like, look at, let's see if I could zoom in a little bit. Here is our line, and look at how these candles are still respecting. See how this candle is respecting this price point here, and this candle is respecting these three, 1, 2, and 3, respecting this price point here. How right up here these two candles respected it. Now it's not like I looked at that and I marked it up. I only marked where the super trend was. If you look right here, you see that we have a super trend printed right here. But with our special settings now, the super trend print has created a strong support and resistance line, giving us the opportunity. Look at this. Look at this here. It's literally bouncing from that support and resistance line, giving us the opportunity to have caught that trade, and now it's pushing trend. And because we would have been able to watch it, we would have been able to see it. All right. This, guys, is the makeup of the Double Z Advanced. If you are in my private group, then you know every morning, 8 o'clock in the morning, I use the Double Z Advanced, and this is what I train off of. And even when I'm trading live, I'll use the Double Z Advanced because the Double Z alone covers all aspects of the UMF law. But then when you add these advanced lines, you have these support and resistances. I get an opportunity to understand where the bounce came from. Look at this flat top right here, right? If I drop another horizontal line right at the top of here, let me show y'all something when we look left, right? Let's drop that horizontal line. It's red, so pay attention to this red line. I'm going to put it right here where price action and trend connected, right? Let's see if I can raise it up from here. Perfect. I want you to look in this area. You see that super trend printed out right there? Look at that. Okay. Now, is it always 100% accurate? Yes and no, actually, to be honest with you. But if we was to scroll left, or if I was to put another super trend up there, look at this. Flat areas. You see how I was respecting it? Flat here. Wick through, then shot back up. Flat here. Flat here. Got in this area. Got in that area. Wick back out. Almost flat here. Look. Touched here. This is a solid support and resistance. Look at this. Touches. This is a solid support and resistance. So if you know how to draw up a support and resistance manually, then you know I'm not lying and I'm not holding no punches. I'm not capping that this super trend, this free indicator, has now drawn up a support and resistance line, which is, guess what, y'all? If you wondering, well, Cousin Cash, I know you can't trade binary the way you trade Forex, but I know you can trade Forex the way you trade binary. You mean to tell me if I was to take one of these brokers like Quotex and I was to mark up an organic chart for my Forex, my MetaTrader 4, and use this process to see where the bounces would come from in different positions, this will work for me? Yes, it would. Now keep in mind though that there's fractal pip movement and there's normal pip movement, and so as long as you understand the movement of your chart, then yes, we got a split hair there, so it's a strong possibility it will continue upward. But you see how it got up here, it got within this range, this area of the support and resistance, and what is it starting to do? Range a little bit, even though it seemed like it's pushing trend. It only pushed it enough to create that wick, but there's a small range here, but it respects this support resistance line. So now you guys can see how you're able to catch some solid moves here. And that's what I love about utilizing the double Z strategy on Quotex. And then when if the market seems a little choppy and I'm trying to figure out why it's so choppy, I can drop down into the S15 and look for my moves. Or I can take it back up to the 1 minute, because now I marked up the 1 minute and then I drop down to the S15. That's how I like to trade. And now you can see these different zones that we created, these different support resistance lines that we created. So now even if we were to mute, let's get rid of this super trend here. All right, so we get rid of it. And now we have a beautifully marked up area to say, okay, we see that the candles tend to range when they get in a certain price point areas. So we want to be careful. Once it begins to range, you guys know what I like to do. I like to go on ahead and grab me a rectangle tool. Sorry about that, guys. Let's see if we can get that rectangle tool going. I like to go on ahead and grab me a rectangle tool. Where are you at? Where are you at? Where are you at? I think I'm in the wrong place. I may be in the wrong place. Got to be more careful. Hold on, guys. Let's see here. All right. Okay, for some reason, I can't even find a rectangle tool. Wow, that's how you can tell I'm tired. This is ridiculous. All right, guys. So, there we go. Duh. Right? I should put a dumb edit in there, but here we go. You see how it's beginning to range or so? We see that range. Then we see this rectangle, we see this breakout, and then it breaks out, it shoots down. And so that's a beautiful part. It's a range here. And so we can see that it likes to range in this area. So I would personally do this and say, okay, it's something about this price. And then I pay attention to the numbers. So 0.89478 at the top and 0.89360 is a ranged area where it likes to range at. And guys, when I tell you that it's printing these support and resistance lines, it's like a lot of people, I know that this is going to be copy and pasted and all over the place. So get in where you fit in right now before the brokers get hit like, hey, they got a trick. And this is something that we might need to utilize, or we're going to go broke, because they are now being able to determine exactly where the bounces will come in at. Now, keep in mind, guys, we're not on an OTC. We're on an organic pair. I'm actually on an organic pair that I'm doing this on, right? So just to show that, by all means, that this works in different brackets, I'm going to slide over the pocket option really quick, okay? And y'all see I have the same setup here. I'm on an actual OTC now. Let me go to the 1 minute. I'm on a 1 minute. I'm going to shrink my chart up just a little bit. And I'm going to follow the same procedures. I'm going to take a horizontal tool, right? Boom. Drop that line. This is a nice long support and resistance. I'm going to try to get it as accurately on the line as possible, right? I'm going to make that one orange or so. And then I'm going to make that about 3 pixels because that's pretty strong there. And then I'm going to mark it up a little bit. So let's go to this next line here, right? So this next line, not that big of a deal, but I'm still going to mark it up. Horizontal line, drop it on there. I'm going to make that 2 pixels and I'm going to keep it green. All right, 2 pixels. And then what I'm going to do also, just so I don't move them, is let me just lock these in. 2 pixels, green. Let's lock that in. I'm going to mark this up even though I normally wouldn't. I'm just going to mark it up. I just want to get y'all familiar with how to mark it up and how I color code it to do so. I'm going to leave this 1 pixel and I'm just going to make it white. All right, nice neutral color. All right. And then I'm going to go, this is a nice size line, not super big or so. So we can leave it green. We can leave it green here. And let's go with 2 pixels there. Okay. Now I see a small one here. Let's mark that up. And the reason why I'm going to take the time to do it is just because we're going to drop down to the lower time frames and repeat the process. All right. And lastly, do I want to mark these up because it's hanging out in this area? Why not? All right, so I'm going to mark this up here. And as you can see, price is literally just lingering. It was bouncing around there. That's a nice size. I'll make that 3 pixels and I'll make it green. All right. Okay. Whew. Now let's drop down to the S15. We drop down to the S15 and just looking at it, look at this. Look at how it's respecting these price points. Look at this right here, and right here. We're not marking it up because this is where we see the candles at. We're literally just marking it up from using those settings, that secret sauce of the settings on the super trend. Now let's mark up here the S15. Look where it's bouncing from. Y'all see that? This is the first one I marked up. I'm using 2 pixels, but it's bouncing from the support and resistance lines that's right here. And look what it's doing. Let me hurry up and try to get the rest marked up here. And just for the sake of argument, I'm going to turn these blue. I'm not going to color code these. I just kind of want to get to the marking so you guys can see the bounces from there. All right. So here is the next one that's small. I'm going to make it blue, leaving a nice 1 pixel there. Let's mark up the next one. And let's see, I'll put that there, make that blue and 2 pixels here, and give us one more. Here we go. I like that. And I'm just gonna mark this one up and make this purple, just to stand out, just a little standout, and 2 pixels. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get rid of the super trend, right? And I'm going to get rid of even the moving average and the zigzags. I'm getting rid of all of those, sliding this out the way. And I just want you to see how from these markings we have, look at this. These are gorgeous support and resistance lines, guys. How it's respecting it. You'll notice how it will bounce from these support and resistance lines, and sometimes it'll go up when it penetrates through. That's giving us that momentum that we want, but it's going to get to a certain support and resistance line and it will change the dynamic of the direction. Okay, now you see how it's bouncing right here, is like it's ranging. What's the odds that if we look left, let's put up just the support and resistance. I put up these super trends, boom and boom. If we look left now, you see this line here, let's look to see where it could possibly bounce from. Look at that right there. You see it? It was hanging out right there the whole time. If we look left, it's going to be bounced back. Look, it's right back over there. It's caught between right here and right there. Look at that. I'm just going to mark that up really quick so you can see it for yourself. And look at that, guys. Now let's go over and look where it's bouncing from. We didn't mark it up from here. We marked it up from back there. Look, bounced right off of this support and resistance line here, right? And look what it did. Wick right back up. Guys, this is the Double Z Advanced. As you can see, you can begin to catch trades. At the end of the video, I'm going to show you guys how I catch trades from them and I hope you like it. Listen, I'm gonna tell y'all right now, I just want to drop this really quickly because there's so much content that I'm bringing to you guys. But again, if you want to learn more, if you want to learn more secret sauce, look at that. Here's a pivot point right here. This is a beautiful, actually this was the blue line that it bounced off of, and it's wicking through, it's going to the purple, and then you can call out shots like, hey, I believe it's going to get to this purple line, so I'm going to take this 5-second trade before to get to that purple line. It got to the purple line and it's wicking back up, and we should have won that trade. We did. We won that trade just because we knew not only does it create support resistances, but they always bounce from them, even if it's a small bounce. So that gives you the idea when you see how often it bounces, and if you color code it properly, you will know when it's going to be a strong bounce or a weak bounce, and you'll be able to predict it. If it gets to this particular price point, I'm going to take it the opposite direction for maybe 5 seconds, maybe 15 seconds, whatever you see fit. You'll know what to do. And let me see something here. Let me show you something else. Let's drop this down to the line chart and look at the support and resistance lines, right? If you was to go on the line chart and mark this up, you would still have the same look, but look at where it's bouncing from. You can see the range that it created alone with the support and resistance lines. And you can know, hey, it tends to range between 163.971 and 163.924, right? Why? Because we're looking at how often it did so. And so it's beautiful. Look, you see how it went up, it touched the support and resistance line, it dropped back down. It bounced off that one, it's shooting back up. You see that? So guys, just giving y'all the heads up that this is how it works. This is the support. This is the double Z using support and resistance that's created by the SUPETREND. Now you're trading against an algorithm. Why not use the same tools that's used against you to be able to make and run the bag up? And this right here, guys, is a form of defensive trading because these tools are used and their strategies to be able to capture you. I just showed you how it literally determines where almost the position is going to be. Now, if you know where the position is going to be sent to, you now, and look at this right here. Just wanted to point this out. It got caught up on this support and resistance, this small one. And if you look at my crosshair and slide over at 163.899, look. It hung out right between these small support and resistances, and then it dropped. Come on, guys. This is the cheat code to trading binary. I would love to see how you guys utilized it. If you want that personal one-on-one training, then sorry, cuz I don't really do that much because it's a lot of requests for them. But what I do have to offer to you is I do have a private group, and I also offer memberships on my Cuzin Cash platform. That's www.cuzin.com. And I offer these memberships as low as $49 a month. That's 1 day of trading. You can spend up to $199 a month. That's 5 days of training, 5 days of trading live. I mean, man, listen, it's lit. We have multiple courses that we offer right now. I'm pushing the binary course because everybody needs to know binary. It's the ATM strategy, always their money, meaning the broker. So with that being said, guys, whether you are on pocket options or you are on Quotex, it's the same situation. And look at this. Quotex is building, and we're looking at where price action was bouncing from. And if you look, price action literally bounced off the support and resistance while we were away. And it did it several times. It bounced off of this one. It bounced off of this one. Guys, we can't beat this type of knowledge. They're not going to give it out. Nobody's coming to save you. If you are serious about learning how to trade, go into the comments and you can click on 3 different links in the comments. Now, Quotex is my favorite broker. All right. Everybody knows that. Pocket options to me personally has a better payout, so I trade both. But let me tell y'all something. I am starting a club for every brokerage. And in that club, I will be teaching, right? So if you guys are serious about trading, then you can either purchase the course And even when you purchase the course, if you want to be in my Quotex club, all you have to do is click that Quotex link. It'll say Cash's Quotex link, and you will join. Is it an affiliate link? I believe so. But the thing that I'm going to do different than the rest of these other people is I'm actually going to teach you how to trade these platforms, so that way you can take care of your family. If it's not about taking care of family, I don't want no parts of it. All right, let's normalize six-figure learners so we can become six-figure earners. With that being said, I love y'all. I am out of here. Until next time.
Bye.